Yo, so Streetdog BMX has a demo. It's out now on Steam. Anybody can go and download it and play it. And I thought I'd just give it a little go and give my first impressions on it. Now, just to be clear, I did actually get access to the game before this. It was maybe like half a year ago or something. I played it a little bit, gave a little bit of feedback. But I haven't played a lot of it and I've kind of forgotten the controls and things. So I think going through the tutorial at the start of this will probably be beneficial. And it will also give you an idea of how it controls and plays as well. First off though, if you go to customize, you have some different options for skin tone, eye color, various different things like that. You can add hairstyles, there's a whole bunch of different things. I think some of it's fairly limited at the minute and there's maybe more that's going to be in the final release. Clothing wise, you've got a t-shirt and hoodie, it's very basic. Shorts, roll-ups, sneakers, I think there's two different types. So basically you've got two types of each option. And also we can customize the bike. I think it's just mainly colors. Yeah, you don't get different parts right now, so I'll quickly set up the colors and then we'll get into the game. Right, that's the bike done, so let's go into the game, and it should start you with a tutorial. Yeah, so it's the right trigger to pedal, left trigger to brake, steer, double tap to do a sprint. Oh god, gates. Okay. So yeah, it gives you a little bit of an extra speed boost. Pretty simple. I guess in the moment I didn't really think about it, but in pipe you press A to pedal, so doing it on the triggers is going to feel a little weird at first, I think. But when it comes to hopping, hold the right stick down and release the hop. Oh, you just release, you don't flick it up, so that's another difference. It is going to be a bit difficult switching between games, I think, especially when the control settings are quite a bit different. So you just hold it down, let go. I'm not sure if just like a slight, I don't know, you got to hold it all the way down. There's no kind of like gradation in it. Hold down, release. You also have nollies, work exactly the same way. And is that it? The tutorial, oh no, okay, we've got more markers. So I guess if you go around, it will teach you most of the basics. Okay, spins and flips. Left stick, left and right. Hold down the left stick before hopping to spin. Quicker. And riding backwards, press right trigger and left to turn around. I've completely forgotten how this game controls. Yeah. Bit of an over rotation, but I'll take it. Okay, for backflips in the air, hold the left stick down and press LB to do the backflip. So that's actually done in the air. It's not like a preload. Actually, yeah. In the air, if you press LB, it's not a preload. It's kind of slightly weird. I wonder if a preload would also work. Seems to be the same for front flips. We'll see if we can preload. If it makes a difference. Okay, it does work. Just riding around a little bit. Tricks are done with the right stick. You'll see in the controller overlay. So right will be a tail whip. So that's another thing. You don't really use the triggers or anything for extra tricks from what I remember. Maybe there are one or two tricks like that. And the other thing which is kind of crazy, and it's very reminiscent of Tony Hawk, is you have to do a up-down if you want to do a manual, like that. So you hop, up-down. As long as you do that motion in the air when you land, you'll automatically go into the trick. And then you do the balancing like this, which can be a bit jarring at first. First impressions though, it's obviously a very arcade-orientated game. And as you'd expect for somebody like me who prefers like more technical things, it's nice that he just drops down instead of bailing. I think there is potential to do some kind of interesting techie style things. There was also stalls that I remember. There's probably a tutorial around for them somewhere, but you can do just like go up to something and stall on it, which I thought was really cool. This was before Streets implemented all of that stuff. So there was some potential for some interesting little tech jibs and tricks like that. I don't know why I keep doing that. For me though, the biggest thing that I struggle with is basically the manuals, having to do the up down. You can do it, it's just like if you're in the middle of a 180 or a spinning trick, you also have to input the manual while spinning, which is kind of awkward. Once you get used to it, it's probably fine. I'm doing whips again. It's just compared to everything, any simulated style thing, you basically just land with a half press down of the stick, either up or down, to do a manual. So that's going to be the biggest thing that people will find awkward, especially if you're into that sort of thing. Now, wall rides. Find a wall ride, the no BMX signs. Okay, so it's a very Tony Hawk-esque thing. Hold right trigger in the air to wall ride. Keep holding until you land on the wall. Once for wall riding, you just hop off. Okay. I'll be honest, I'm not really a fan of missions in these sort of games and like timed things where you got to go around and do certain things. I make my own fun. Actually, interestingly, you can just go straight into a wall as well, so maybe we could do some like vertical wall taps, that type of thing. It's also not too strict when it comes to hitting the actual posters, which is nice. Where are we? Okay, one there. Let's go vertically. Yeah, that's actually pretty nice. It's something BMX Street struggles with a little bit as well, from what I remember. And there we go. People that like challenges and that sort of thing, obviously you can aim for gold or the highest level or whatever. So yeah, just testing on a wall, because this is the stuff I'm interested in. Actually, yeah, that's nice. I don't think streets, I don't know, it depends what the physics is like at the minute, but just being able to do something like that is kind of cool. Can we get a little bar out? Nice. So you see there is a little bit of potential for some kind of techie stuff like that. And it flows together pretty nice as well. You do have a lot of options, like the dev really did a good job of getting things to feel good, even if it's maybe in terms of the style and the way it plays, not the way at least the sim style people would want to play. Now, this is the important one. Grinds and manuals. This was something I remember before being a bit tricky, because again, it's not done with the stick, it's done with RB, then RB and directions for different grinds. You can grind nearly any ledge or rail. So RB and left on the stick will do a feeble. See how that works. It's breaking my brain a bit. So it's RB and left. Nope. Damn it. So actually you lock in before... That's really weird. Like if you press RB, he like hones into the thing and does the trick. I guess it's just a double peg, unless you've got the direction already held in advance, which may be tricky because you could be turning at the same time. Okay, manuals, we actually covered this before. Nope. So... we could actually maybe rail ride as well. I remember testing that sort of stuff before. In fact, I've completely forgotten what this mission's supposed to be. I'm getting distracted doing my own stuff. And finally, link tricks together with grinds and manuals. Nose manual to ice pick. So... yeah. Oops. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about how the locking in with the grinds works. We should maybe test that out. Because as soon as you press RB, he begins the locking in process. So you need to have the direction already held in before that. But the issue comes holding down a direction, it will make you turn. So you've got to do just a very minor movement so we stay straight, I guess. Actually, should we try a rail ride? Yep. Seems to work okay. Also, I think there's other tricks behind... I can't remember which it is now. Is it LB? There's another thing that you hold down to do a different set of tricks. You've got like 8 tricks locked to the right stick as it is. Like you've got 8 directions. But then there's another 8 tricks. I think... I can't remember what you hold down to do it. Because you get opposite bar spins as well. Because obviously you want to be able to do them both ways. There's probably a tutorial for it somewhere. But yeah, there's like a basic selection of 8 tricks and then another 8, which are a similar thing, but you hold something down. And yeah, sorry if this is a bit all over the place. Obviously, it's kind of the first time playing in a long time, so I've forgotten a lot of it. And also, it's just giving you the experience of figuring it out for yourself, because it will be a bit of a... Especially if you're used to BMX streets, coming to this will be slightly awkward for a while, I think. It'll take a bit of getting used to. And then when you go back to streets, you'll probably be confused again, because all the controls are different. You know how it is. Okay, right stick in the air to do tricks. Like go quickly for a quick trick, or keep holding for a bigger trick. I wonder how that works with tail whips. Okay, it didn't even activate, I did it so slow. You start with 8 core tricks available. Check them out in the pause menu. Go some air. Okay, just doing a table. Very quick table. Also, the other thing is you have to release and then do the trick. You can't just... Well, I suppose you have to, because the hop involves releasing first. So you release, get it to neutral, then do the trick. So if we hold here, we'll be able to do a double tail whip. One of my favourite things is the wall rides, I think, because they flow really nice. There is a degree of... Oh god. Maybe magnets or something kind of guiding you along, but it doesn't feel too intrusive. Especially for an arcade style game. You do want it to help you along a little bit. Oh dear, those steps. My biggest issue is the grinds needing an input to do them. That's quite... I don't know. It's a bit awkward. It makes me not want to do them so much. I'd prefer if they were just an input on the right stick. Maybe it's just a thing you get used to. Oh, he leans over a little bit as well. It's kind of nice. Yeah, wall rides are nice. I also need to remember what the stalls are. Because I remember those being really cool. Yeah, this is nice. Again, I know a lot of people will just instantly be against the game because of the art style. But at least for the demo, I would give it a go and just see how you ride. Like, can you do some of the stuff you like to do? Because it feels pretty good. Also, this demo would probably be limited to just this map, maybe. But I did have a chance to play a few of the maps that'll be in the final game. And they do feel very nice. There's kind of a nice variety of different maps. They're fairly dense. Lots of different things to do on them. Sorry, all my tricks are kind of like basic bitch style tricks. How do we flip again? Try like a 360 backflip. Maybe need some work. Riding around, I don't see another tutorial thing, so I don't know if there's anything mentioning stalls anywhere. Could we just ride up to this? No? Oh, I was just looking around in the menu actually. Pedaling, you can do it with the right trigger, or you can press X to pedal, double tap and hold to crank it. So it's called arcade, but it's maybe similar to street, so people that like that may prefer this way of doing things. Also under hops, there's a regular setting and there's a regular advanced. This is the same as default, but there's no delay before doing the right stick input. So what I mentioned before about you having to release to like the center before doing a trick, you can just go straight into a trick. Or maybe put that on. Oh, there's a classic option as well. So you can go from down to up to down. Oh, I don't know actually. The regular, advanced, or the classic. They may be the way I choose to go. There's actually quite a lot of options. Press A to hop, or at least B to nollie. Actually thinking about it, X is going to be an awkward position, so I'll put that back on the right trigger. I may need to play around with these. I'll probably come back to it in a different video and let you know which I feel is the best. Flips as well, left bumper. There will be some other options. Start flip by clicking the left stick while holding up and down. Interesting. Okay, so you got two options for that. I'm not entirely sure about this one. Maybe leave that one as is. Manuals, arcade style. Okay, there we go. Halfway down. So we actually implemented this. I didn't know we did that. That's a big thing for me. Right stick, so that would be basically the same as Streets. One issue I had playing this game was it was just so different to Streets that it broke my brain every time I went back to it to try it. So I think being able to do things like this to get it as close as possible to Streets will kind of, yeah, make the whole process a little easier. Do note though, as you can see on the bottom right, the tutorial doesn't update to match the control options. So maybe do the default first and then set how you like afterwards. Flyouts, hold the right trigger to fly out. Push the left stick upwards to fly out. I don't really have much to say about that one. Grinds. Okay, is there a way of not using RB to do... Use Y to start a grind and use the left stick for grind inputs. Interesting. The other options are RB and the left stick or the right stick. Yeah, you've got plenty of options to customize this. I'm actually impressed. There was one thing when I played it months ago which wasn't a thing. I did give feedback about the manuals being a bit awkward, especially for my sort of tech sort of thing. I don't know if he took that into account or not, but he's probably heard it from other people as well. And yeah, it's nice to have that option there. Grind button stops spins. Holding the grind button will stop spins. So maybe the thing I was saying before about needing to turn while also going into a grind. I guess doing it on the right stick as well will also help avoid that. I don't know, we'll see. And going into the main controls, advanced skills locked for demo. Okay, so these weren't locked in the early version of the game that I got access to. But you'll notice in the top left, lip tricks, that was the thing I was talking about. It was LB and the left stick. I guess that maybe changes depending on your controller settings. Manual pivots you can't do at the minute. Sliders you can't do at the minute. Also, hang fives, pedal hang fives, and hang nothings. And on the bottom right, the other thing I mentioned, and that was confusing me because it wasn't working, you hold the left trigger and do the right stick to do another set of 8 tricks. And I think within there, you get the opposite bar spins. So for now, you've only got the 8 regular tricks that you get on the right stick, but it gets doubled, I guess, in the main game. In terms of the tricks that are available, table, no foot can, no hander, bar spin, tail whip, toboggan, crank flip, turn down. Grinds, toothpick, ice pick, feeble smith, very rudimentary at the minute. I guess if you do the left trigger, you get these other locked options. And actually, yeah, on the trick section as well. The Euro, Spider-Man, switch, bar spin, cannonball, X up, decade, switch, tail whip, nothing. Okay, so now we've changed up the controls. Yeah, it's very much like Streets now. Down, up down. Manual will be just a half push-in of the stick. So this should make doing tech things, or I don't know, just for me at least, make it feel a little easier to do. I will need to get used to everything again though, if I'm doing it this way. Yeah, that feels a lot easier to me. I suppose the most simple is just the simple right stick release, and then manuals is just a half push, because that's like the minimum amount of input. But it depends how your brain works, I guess. And now my brain's broken, because I want to just do the release. I need to spend some time on this, I think, before I show off any more of the game, because I'm not doing very good. But at least this gives you an idea of what the game is like. You get this map. It's pretty much free roam. You can just do what you want. Play around with the tricks. Obviously, some of it is limited. I wanted to show off the lip tricks because I thought those were really cool. And a few of the other things like the manuals, you got hang fives, pedal hang fives, things like that. Those felt really nice. And when you put them all together, it does allow for a lot of crazy little tech combos. I don't think I can show anything that I filmed in the past because it's kind of from a previous version of the game. But when it's available, I will show it off to you in the future. Okay, yeah, I'm going to need to practice this. Anyway, this is a basic overview of how it works. I am happy that the new controller options are there. So I'm definitely going to give this a try and see what we can do in it because why the hell not? Anyway, yeah, I'll put a link to the game in the description. It is a demo, so it's completely free, something to do while we wait for Streets to get updated. And yeah, enjoy.